Hello SLAPAFISH community, welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video, I'm going to do a heavy tank guide. Like what is the best equipment and skills you should put on your tank, heavy tank. And I'm going to leave the consumables up to y'all because that could vary because of what you just want to sacrifice and stuff like that. So before we get into that, according to YouTube analytics, a small percentage of people that actually subscribe to, that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you like this video, consider subscribing because it's free. You can always subscribe later, unsubscribe later. So, okay, since that's out of the way. Now, the easiest one to go through right quick is equipment. Now, I have a lot of heavy tanks. I have a ton of heavy tanks. I only have my tier 10 heavy tanks selected. How many tanks? I have 114 heavy tanks in the game. A lot of my heavy tanks have equipment on them. And as you would see, like a lot of my heavy tanks equipment are are different. Every single one, because each heavy tank is different because they all play differently. But you would notice that a lot of the equipment is starting to be similar. So let's go to the equipment of the IS-4. As you know, okay, so there are 15 pieces of equipment in the game, and I also have to mention that not every heavy tank in the game will get every single piece of equipment. For example, the engine protection is only on Russian heavy tanks. Crew vents is only on heavy tanks that are completely sealed, like their turret and hull are sealed. I don't think there's any like heavy tank that doesn't apply for it. I don't know. I just haven't went through them all. But yeah, just keep in mind that not all heavy tanks are similar. Not all heavy tanks have the same exact equipment. But there's 15 pieces of equipment in the game. So, basically, I went through all the equipment and all the crew skills. So, and I ranked them. Basically, I had them in 3 categories. I put one as, I put the 3 categories as like, no, I would not put this on a heavy tank. Yes, I would definitely put this on a heavy tank. And maybe I would maybe put this on a heavy tank. It'd be like situation. It'd be like, it depends if the heavy actually needed it. It depends on the heavy situation. So now let's start with the equipment that I don't think that should be on heavy tanks. There's only 3 pieces of a heavy tank. Only 3 pieces of equipment I don't think should be on heavy tanks. That is the optics. You don't need to be ranged in your heavy tank because you're right there in the front lines all the time. Camo net, you don't need that. Advanced camouflage, you don't need that because, like I said before, code optics, you're in the front lines, you're going to be spotted. And the third one, also you're not going to be sitting still. And the third one is the advanced reloader. So let me explain on this one. This one's another one that's like, for most heavy tanks, this piece of equipment is completely useless. For most heavy tanks, this piece of equipment, if you don't know, allows you to switch between your ammo without having to reload. Okay. The piece of, I use it on my the heavy tanks I use it on are like the Dreadnought, the KV2, because I like to like switch between high explosive and premium rounds between my KV2 and Dreadnought. It's like, do I want to do full damage with high explosive or just penetrate with premium rounds for my KV2? Those two tanks are amazing for. That piece of equipment is amazing for those 2 tanks. Also, I do want to say this, that I don't switch ammo a lot in my heavy tanks. So I fire mainly standard. So this is why I'm not including this piece of equipment like a must-have or a maybe on the tanks. Okay, after I get that away. So now there's 5 pieces of equipment that I think heavy tanks should have. That all heavy tanks should have. Yes, you have 4 equipment slots, and depending if you want to get rid of your target enhanced target info to get rid of the outline and show penetration chance, then you would only have 3. But the 5 I think all heavy tanks should have are actually pretty simple. Advanced armor, definitely, because that protects you from damage. That reduces the damage from incoming shells, which is always very nice to have because you're supposed to be survivability. Next is crew vents. Improve ventilations, because that just improves everything on your tank. That improves your commander. That should be on every single tank that could get it. Every tank should have that. Now, the next piece of equipment I would say would be the spall liner. So where's the spall liner? Spall liner is right there. Ramming and explosive defense. And I just knocked down a bottle. So ramming, this really works good if you have like a fast heavy tank. So like the 260 IS-7, where you can get up to your top speed and you know you have a really good horsepower per ton, and you can ram with your heavy tanks. Ram like a medium, a light, a tank destroyer, or other heavy tanks. And this will reduce you from taking damage for 50%. Also, if you notice, explosive damage. That means like any Type 5s, Type 4s, KB2s, Dreadnoughts. Anything that fires high explosives will not do as much damage to it. Not as much damage to you. Also, that includes arty. Arty does 50% less damage to you. So that's really good to have on your heavy tanks, especially on your very slow moving heavy tanks, like your Mouse or your Type 5. Okay, so I said, I don't know why that's on there. I said spall liner. I said vents. Now let's talk about the loader. Advanced loader, I mean, it's pretty good. Your reload time. DPM, make your DPM go up. You're a brawler. I mean, a lot of tanks are brawlers. I mean, heavy tanks are brawlers, so get your DPM up. DPM's always very nice to have, unless you just really focus on the alpha. Okay, I said armor, I said loader, I said vents, I said spall liner, and repair system. Oh, that's the one. That's why it was on there. Repair system. Now, this one's a very big if, but I think you should have it. Repair system repairs everything on your tank 25% faster. 25% faster. So that means your track, your gun, means everything. Anything that can be repaired by itself, then this is really good for. So I said 25. I said 5 pieces of equipment that you can have on your tank. 5 pieces of equipment that I think would be really good on heavy tanks. But remember, you only have 4 slots. And even if you want to you want to keep the target info, because you might want to keep that. Also, the other pieces of equipment that you say are like a maybe. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to do my 5. Even though, okay, maybe you want to do my 5, but you have to drop one of these pieces of equipment because you can only have 4 pieces of equipment. So you gotta drop one. And if you pick another target info, you would have to drop 2. So the 5, to remind you, are the repair system, spall liner, the ventilations, the advanced loader, and the armor. Advanced armor. Those are the 5 I would definitely put on my heavy tanks. And as you can see on my IS-4, I dropped the enhanced target info. I put advanced armor on, the advanced loader, vents, and I have a spall liner. But I dropped repairs because I don't need it. Because I have this repair kit. Because also remember when you set up, when you pick your pieces of equipment, remember to look at your consumables, especially if you have repairs, like repair kits, because they repair stuff too. They have passive boost, especially if you like use premium consumables, because those are unlimited use. So, okay. Now, that's done with equipment. Now let's go to commander system. Okay? So, there are 32 pieces, there's 32 skills in the game. Okay? 17 of them, I don't believe you should have on your tank. 5 of those, or maybe you should have on your tank, well, heavy tank. 10 of those, I think you should have on your heavy tank. Okay, let's go through the list. 1, well, quick litter. You don't need that on your heavy tank, especially if you have a 9-skill crew. I don't think this skill's even useful anymore. Iron Mace, you kind of don't need that because, yeah. Gunsmith. I mean, most heavy tank players would be probably using like a repair kit that's unlimited usage, or also get this, you're in the front lines, you're brawling with people, you don't need accuracy, so that kind of renders gunsmith useless. Rapid aim, steady aim. I don't think you should put these on heavy tanks because you're brawling with your heavy tanks, especially if your heavy tank's like a brawler. I mean, if your heavy tank's not a brawler, you don't like brawling with your heavy tank, go ahead and put it on it, but I don't think you should put it on. Next one is run and gun, another accuracy one. Next is trick driving. The only one I think this should be on is light tanks. I mean, are you going to be falling off a cliff and you're going like 30-40 kilometers? You're going to not see that cliff that's coming? I mean, I've done that before, but it won't be like surprise. I'm here, cliff. Okay, next is camouflage. I don't think you should have a camouflage expertise on your tank. I don't think you should have muffle shot. I don't think you have grease up because you're up in the front lines. You're up there. Next is the comms technician. You're not spotting. You're not a light tank. Most heavy tanks have terrible view range, so don't waste your skills. Don't waste your skills getting your view range up. I mean, waste a skill and use that one. It's just 6% better view range. Where am I at? Mark targeted. Same thing about the view range. Firefighting. I've not been lit on fire a lot. I don't believe you should have firefighting on it. Also, I believe that if you have rations, like the enhanced rations on your tank, and you activate them, that makes your crew be better. And it puts out the fire faster, which I found that works. So, yeah. I don't have firefighting or fire prevention on my heavy tanks. Okay. So the one, if you really want one of these on there, the one I would put on there is probably firefighting. I think I would put firefighting on there. Okay, next is safe stowage. Ammo. I don't think you're gonna get him the ammo. Most people use, I mean, if you're using a premium repair kit, just wait 60 seconds and you get your ammo back. So you don't need that. Next are these two. I don't have these on any of my tanks. Nothing. Because remember, I said the passive boost of the consumables of the repairs. Also, if you put the repair system on your heavy tanks, these things are not even worth it. If you had to go with one, go with general mechanic, because that repairs everything faster. Okay, so that was the 17 things that you should not put on your heavy tanks. Now, 10 of them that you should put on your heavy tanks. Remember, you can only put 9 skills on a commander, and I'm telling you 10, so you're going to have to pick one to not put on your heavy tanks out of the 10. And I've made that choice easy for you. What do I mean? Well, I'm going to work from the back of the list, and I'll teach you what that means. Okay, so first skill you should have on your heavy tank is controlled impact. Same thing with the Spalliner, ramming people, or if you get rammed. Spallliners are really good for heavy tanks because it protects your hit points and it deals more damage to other people. So if you're like somebody that likes to ram in your head, you take like an M60, especially M60, because that is a very fun thing to do. Have that thing set up. Okay. Next is armor angling. 5% decrease in damage received. Yeah. Saves your hit points. Hit points are very useful in heavy tanks. Next, 6 cents. You know when you're getting spotted. Okay, now the next one I'm about to talk about is something that you'll be like, I thought you said we shouldn't put that on our heavy tanks. Now let me explain the next one right quick. Silent driving. Before update 6.0, I would never put this on any heavy tanks. Any. But now it's 55% decrease to the effect of driving on your vehicle's camo. So I say put this on every tank. Remember, just don't put it on light tanks because it's completely useless on light tanks. It's always been useless. But yeah, the reason I say it is like, imagine you lose a lot of camo when you drive your tanks, okay? Even though heavy tanks don't have a lot of camo, you still lose a ton of your camo when you fire and when you drive. Firing's fine for a heavy tank because when you're firing, you're usually at close distances, firing at other heavy tanks or medium tanks, and they already see you, so that's fine. You don't need that. But silent driving. Imagine you're driving to battle. Let's take a mountain pass. You're driving to the left side of the map, where that open area is, where the light tanks and medium tanks like to spot. And you get spotted, and you lose half of your hit points. Imagine if you had silent driving. You had 55% more concealment right there. 55%. You kept a lot of your camo value while driving. So that small little chance that you not get spotted might save half of your hit points. That's why I think silent driving. Remember, I said there's 10 skills that you should put on your tank, so if you don't want it, take it off. Doesn't matter. Next is off-road driving. You're faster. Especially when light tanks and medium tanks start flanking you and try to get to your side and back, you can just turn faster on like any resistances. And just turn faster. Hello, Discord. Turn faster, and you can just get your gun around and just boom, shoot them. Or drive into position faster and stuff like that. Make your speed go better, faster. What next is clutch braking. Same thing about the light tanks and medium tanks. Light tanks and medium tanks swarm you. Make your hull rotate faster with clutch braking. I am going to skip the next two. Then I'm going to go straight to Born Leader. Born Leader is just like crew vents. Basically, it improves everything about your tank. It improves everything about your commander. Why would you not put this on your tank? It just improves everything. Put it on your tank. I think every tank in the game should have this. Put it on your tank. Okay. The next two are very... Wait. The next three. Rapid loading. 10% better gun reload speed. 10% increase to gun reload speed. So DPM goes up. So the last two are very, very similar. Remember, I gave you 10 skills to work with. If you ever want to switch out some, these two are very similar. They're both okay. One's Adrenaline Rush, which is 50% decrease to reload speed with 15% increase to gun reload speed when you're under 10% health. Basically, it makes your gun faster. 15%. Next is the Last Stand. 25% increase to crew performance when under 10%. This is basically like Born Leader and crew vents when you're under 10%. So you have a choice, or you can put both on them and see what happens and see what your reload does and see if it actually stacks, because I have no idea if it actually stacks with Last Stand, Adrenaline Rush, and I don't know if Last Stand and Adrenaline Rush actually stack. I've never tested it. It's a thing I should do, but just never tested it. So, yeah. I don't really know which one you should pick. Last Stand or Adrenaline Rush? I have no idea. I don't know. Probably Last Stand. Because it's 25% better everything. We are under 10% hit points. It really works good in a mouse or it's a tier 10. Those skills really work good in like tier 10 heavy tanks or anything that has a lot of flipping hit points. So yeah, that's the video. It's pretty much the video. Sorry, no gameplay because just finding stuff. And that's basically how I would set heavy tanks up. Remember, consumables are all up to you. Doesn't really matter. I would always put rations on because rations are really good. Just proves everything about your tank. And yeah, that's it for this video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Also, remember SLAPAFISH because Warriors. And peace out. See ya.